we aim to simplify. Oh, here we aim. Wait, no, they maths. They maths. They maths. I forgot what we're here to do. Hey guys, and welcome back to Pennies to Pounds TV with your host Kia. And if you are new here, this is a channel all about leveling up your finances. Here, we aim to dispel your myths, simplify difficult financial jargon, rectify your own personal problems while trying to entertain you as well. If you are here, then you've clicked this because you need to find out the top 5 things before you either become a freelancer or whilst you're on your freelance journey. So you're in the right place. I'm going to tell you, number 1, and I think this is something that a lot of people have questions with, you do not have to register yourself straight away, okay? I know there's this feeling like, oh, okay, maybe I actually should go and register. You know, I want to start freelancing, whether that's copywriting, video editing. There's a whole host of things you can do as a freelancer. Just because you start your journey right now doesn't mean it makes sense to register right now. The general rule of thumb is to register yourself as a business or a sole trader after your business or your freelance platform has made around £1,000 worth of income. That's the general rule of thumb. If you're under that, then I guess it's still not worth getting yourself tangled up into all the taxes element, especially if it's not consistent as well. You want to make sure the moment you register, that is when you need to put everything through when it comes to taxes and everything. We'll touch on that more later on. But yes, the general rule of thumb is once you start to earn £1,000 or more, then you should look into registering as either becoming a sole trader, so working for yourself and self-employed, or a limited company. So you have a look in that. If you are at that point and you're like, you know what, we've done that and I think maybe I should look to register, then in the UK you can visit Companies House, and through Companies House you can go through the process and register your business. There is a fee attached, but you can go through and register your business. Alternatively, if you were like me, I was so confused when I first registered my business, didn't know what I was doing. There are websites which help you do that. They go through the process with you, fill in the details in a more simplified way. So you pay them a little bit more for that. So you pay them and then they pay the Companies House fee, but they register that way. But whichever way you want to do it, make sure that you register once you've earned about over £1,000 worth of income from your business. Number 2, and a really big one that a lot of freelancers do not know, so if you don't know, please get your pen and paper out now.
A few moments later.
You are legally allowed to charge interest on late paid invoices. Did you hear me right? You are legally allowed to charge interest on late paid invoices. You heard me right. You can charge interest when a company has paid your invoice late. So you're probably wondering, how does this work? I'm going to put the link to the HMRC website below if you're in the UK. But the way that this works is you have your invoice, right? You've invoiced your customer, your business, you've sent them an invoice for your services or for your goods. Once 30 days has elapsed, either 30 days from the time that you invoiced them or 30 days from when the product or the service, whatever you actually gave them, was delivered. If they have not paid in that time frame, then you are legally allowed to add interest. So the way that you do this, and the way that HMRC says you're allowed to do it legally, is you can charge 8% plus the base rate of the Bank of England. So have a look and see what that is right now, and depending on when you invoice, but you're able to do that. So for example, if your business was owed £1,000 and the Bank of England interest rate was 0.5%, what you do is you take that £1,000, you would times that by 0.085 if you're wondering the maths. So remember that's 8% that we mentioned. So 0.08 plus the 0.5%, which would give you £85 when you work that out. Then we would divide that £85 by 365 days. So we could work out the daily interest for that late payment invoice, and that will be, in this case, 23p. So we can do that to work out however many days it's over by. So let's say it's late by 50 days. We'll do 23p times 50, and that will give us £11.50 that we'll charge on top of the original £1,000 that that company or business owes us for our goods or services. So remember to make use of that. If you're a freelancer, the thing that everyone hates most is getting paid late, right? I think the only time you get paid on time is when you're actually employed. But when you're self-employed, late invoices and late payments are just a norm. So make sure that you get your interest. You're able to do it legally. HMRC says you can do that. I'll put the link below so you can actually have a read yourself. But yes, make sure you do that, and that is a very, very important thing that a lot of freelancers don't know. So I want to tell you that now. The third thing is to make sure that you get yourself set up with a pension. When you work for a company, you will get auto-enrolled into a pension once you hit the age of 22 and you earn over £10,000 a year. Right, so your employer will put you in there automatically. You can pick and decide what percentage of your income you put into your pension every single month, and that is all handled for you. Usually your employer will make contributions as well. That varies in percentages. It could match your contributions. It could be slightly less or slightly more. It varies depending on your employer, but that is how that works. When you are self-employed, you are not only the employee, but also the employer. That means that you don't have any kind of system set up for you. You have to go ahead and put it together yourself. So this is very, very, very important. I'll do another video touching on the importance of pensions and how much you actually need in your pension to be able to retire comfortably. I'll let you into a secret, it's a lot more than you'd think. You need a lot more money put aside, but it's so important to make sure that you have that set up for yourself. You can open up something called a private pension. So anyone, even if you're employed, you can open up a private pension. So this is just a pension that you open up yourself and you make regular contributions to yourself. Very much important if you're self-employed. There are platforms like PensionBee and Get Penfold, which is made specifically for the self-employed to open up their own pensions, and you can look into those platforms. I'll put a couple more links in the description as well so you can have a look. But it's so important to make sure that you set yourself up right for retirement and go ahead and have a look at some of these and try and put that in place for yourself. You don't have to put away a lot of money to begin with. If you want to just put away, I don't know, 2%, 3%, 4% of how much you make each month, then that's absolutely fine. Usually it's between 2% to about 10% typically with your contributions, but definitely look to increase that as your income increases when you're self-employed. I know that can fluctuate. As a freelancer, some months you could be raking it in and ready to splash the cash. Other months you might be clamping your purse closed. So I know it can range, but definitely do have a look at that, and that's really important, something that you should look to implement as well. Fourth one, and a very important one that I think a lot of freelancers miss, is to make sure you get some sort of income protection. When you work for a workplace and you have an employer, if I fall ill, for example, I know that I'm entitled to sick pay. I can get sick pay from my employer. I can also get statutory sick pay if for some reason I don't qualify for it from my employer, but I know that I'm okay. I can lay in my bed, ill as anything, hands in the cast, and I know I'm gonna get paid. When you're self-employed, you don't have that level of protection. So you want to make sure that you research and get some sort of income protection. That will mean that if you happen to fall ill, or incur an injury, that means that you actually cannot work and cannot carry out what you do to earn money, that you'll get a monthly payment made out to you to cover you for that period of time. It can be short term, so it can be for a month, for example. It can be long term for something a bit more serious. That could be the course of a year. But make sure you have a look at that. If you just have a little Google and say income protection UK, you can find places which actually offer that for you. You typically have to pay a monthly fee, obviously, to cover that. But then when you need to cash in, like any other insurance, you need to make a claim, you can do so and you'll get those payments made out to you. Again, I'll put a couple links in the description. That is not the exhaustive list at all, so please do have a look and research yourself if there's any other places or platforms you want to have a look at. But yes, really, really, really important. And then my fifth and final tip is to make sure that you file your taxes correctly. So once you've registered, make sure that you're doing that correctly. If you haven't already seen my video where I got myself in over £3,000 worth of debt as a sole trader to HMRC, I will put it up above so you can have a look. But I promise you, you need to make sure that you do that correctly. From the moment you register, that is so, so, so important. You may not want to get an accountant, and you don't have to. You don't have to. I have one personally because I know for me that's a bit too much. I think I've been traumatized by my experience and my story. I've done it once. I'm not trying to fall into it again. But there are platforms such as Xero and QuickBooks which allow you as a self-employed person to manage your taxes yourself and be able to file it in that sense. It makes it a lot easier for you. So whichever method you choose, whether it's an accountant or doing it yourself on these platforms that I mentioned, make sure that you get that in order and file on time. The last thing I'd want for anyone watching is for anyone to incur late fees. You even get interest on top of the late fees. You don't want any of that. I've been through that spiral and trust me, it is not good. It's not good. So I don't want anyone to go through that. So make sure that you take the time out to research and figure out how are you going to manage yourself and manage your money and actually be able to pay your taxes on time when that time comes. But yes, I hope everyone enjoyed that video. Just a kind of snapshot, quick video to let you know as a freelancer or someone who wants to get into that field, whatever you want to do and start freelancing, the things financially that every freelancer should know. If you like that, make sure that you're following Pennies to Pounds because we'll be doing way more of this. We're aiming, and I say aim, to post up a video at least once a week. My aim is twice a week. So please do give us a subscribe if you haven't done already. Listen to the podcast. We drop some gems on there as well. And yeah, just hit the notification bell. We'll be having way more insightful and information-based videos. So if you like that, then give us a follow and a subscribe. Thank you guys, and until the next video, bye. Oh, you can see like where my mirror fell off. Anyway, why have I forgotten it? I'm gonna carry on. My brain is not working at this time.